Oh boy. Oh man. Let's talk about the doggone playoff game. First and foremost, congratulations to the Buffalo Bills. 4 straight consecutive seasons you're on to the divisional round of the playoffs. However, for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I believe this is what, our 5th straight playoff loss. 2016 AFC Championship, 2017 AFC Divisional, 2020 in the goddamn wild card against the Browns, 21 wild card against the Chiefs, 2023 wild card against the Bills. 5 straight doggone one and done or I should say 4 straight one and done situations, 5 straight postseason losses, and this was no different than most of those losses, shooting ourselves in the foot. 2017, we play against the goddamn Jacksonville Jaguars. Who was on that sideline, or I should say on their defense? Miles Jack, who happens to play for us in 2023. Miles Jack, who cost us on one of the most important drives of the entire game. Miles Jack, 3 bonehead goddamn plays. This man's a dummy. First and foremost, you got defensive holding when you didn't even need to put your hand up when Josh Allen threw a goddamn uncatchable ball. Furthermore, you go roughing the passer on Josh Allen again. Then you end up tackling Stephon Diggs when Minkah Fitzpatrick can't seem to make a tackle. What are we doing? And then Shakir takes it into the end zone for the score. Furthermore, we shoot ourselves in the foot on 2 different occasions that were huge. For whatever reason, we're in the red zone again, rather than run the football from inside the 5-yard line with one of the best rushing attacks over the course of the past 5 weeks. Let's throw the ball. For what reason? Interception. What does that lead to? Touchdown. George Pickens trying to pick up more additional yards, despite the fact that we're in the blistering cold, he ends up fumbling. All right. We give up a touchdown on the very next play. We tackled like trash all day. Furthermore, we got pumped. Stephon Diggs on the sideline happens to get himself a reception. He picks up our bottle of water, makes it seem as if he's drinking our secret stuff on the sideline. That should piss you off. They laughing in your face. What do we do? Minkah Fitzpatrick messed around and hit him, but guess what? He got back up and he was back out there. Joey Porter Jr. got taken out the game. Dirty hit. Old lineman who just came off the field because he was dealing with an injury comes right in there and forearms him right in the back of the goddamn head. Everybody seen the replay. Ain't nobody do nothing about it. Granted, you don't want to have yourself penalized, but at least add a little bit of oomph to a goddamn strike when you tackle somebody, or perhaps on a pass rush. Why can't we play with a level of passion? Now, granted, I'm not going to put this loss on Tomlin. This is completely different than seasons past, because we came into this game and unfortunately it was the players that simply did not execute. It was the players who simply did not execute. The fumble, that's not on coaching. Now granted, the red zone call, I don't know who the fuck decided, yo, let's go throw the doggone football. We got rid of Todd Haley because of that. Remember, Todd Haley was a magnificent offensive coordinator for Pittsburgh. He got fired because of the red zone calls. That's where the issue was. That's why we had to get him the fuck up out of there. But for whatever reason, we made it seem as if we had him on the sideline again. I thought we got rid of Matt Canada. What the fuck we throwing the football for inside the 5? That makes no sense whatsoever. Mason Rudolph played an alright game. He didn't go out there and lose us the football game. He did everything he could to possibly go and win us the football game. We played with a little bit of heart. We played with a little bit of passion. We happened to go out there and block a field goal, but it was our mistakes that cost us the game. Because truly, Buffalo may have won. On paper, they are by far the better football team. But you cannot convince me. If we don't make those mistakes, we don't have an opportunity to possibly be playing into overtime as we speak right now. Think about it. You take away that fumble from Pickens following that long drive of the Buffalo touchdown. You take away that interception when we marched down the field inside the red zone. Of course, if you were to strip away our blocked field goal, or if you want to leave it there, we either got a tie game at halftime or we're only trailing by 4. All they did in the 4th quarter was kick a field goal up until we forgot how to tackle and Miles Jack decided to turn into Miles Jacksonville. We should have left him when the goddamn retirement home. But we can't blame the entire game on one player. We didn't get the job done, and that's the problem that we have. It's a culture thing. When Mike Tomlin showed up and joined the Pittsburgh Steelers back in 2007, he kept that same winning culture that was established from Chuck Noll, established from Bill Cowher, and he carried that into the early 2010s. Then we started letting some knuckleheads come around and run rampant in the mid-2010s. Now we done reached the 2020s, and we got a head case all over the place. We should be tackling left and right. Take a look at what they're doing in Detroit. Dan Campbell got those guys ready to die for him. And we don't have that in Pittsburgh. We used to look like we'd go out on the field and die for Mike Tomlin. That ain't the case no more. And there's a possibility that he may take a step away. So if we got to have a new coach, guess what? We got to establish a winning culture. We haven't had a losing season in 20 years. Mike Tomlin didn't have a losing season his entire career. I'm tired of this being the only thing that the Pittsburgh Steelers is known for, because we have become Jeff Fisher's Titans. We have become Jeff Fisher's Rams. We are middle of the pack. It's no longer 8-8. It's 9-8, 10-7. We got enough to make the postseason, but not enough to win a playoff game. Because either we're going to self-destruct, or we're just going to mess around and just miss out on the postseason. We'll close out a season strong like a motherfucker, but we won't be able to contend. I see people talking about, why don't we just tank for picks? You play to win the game. We will not tank over here, but we got to change our motherfucking mentality. We got to be ruthless in the motherfucking offseason. Go sign some damn free agents. Throw some money at people. Stop playing so doggone conservative. We have to reinvigorate the essence and the spirit of the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's what I wanted to see. I said the final 4 weeks of the season, we would win 3 of our last 4. We won our last 4. We made it to the playoffs, and then what do? We lose in the fucking wild card like we did 2 years ago during Ben's last season. I am sick and tired of the mediocrity every single year. It's the same shit. We start out well, then we shoot ourselves in the foot, then we have to turn it around late in the season. Or perhaps we start out terrible, we turn it around late in the season, we make a doggone push, we make it into the postseason, nobody believes in us, we make things look as if it's relatively competitive, and then we lose. It's rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. It's getting ridiculous. What happened to the Pittsburgh Steelers of old? Granted, we didn't have TJ Watt. We only won 1 game without TJ Watt, and that was last year when we played against Tampa. I believe it was last year when we played against Tampa, or maybe 2 years ago when we played against Tampa, and Brady, his last game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's it. Granted, we didn't have our defensive player of the year, but that's no excuse to not showcase effort or shoot ourselves in the foot. And lastly, the last thing I'm going to say regarding the game, second half, 5 fucking penalties. We were unpenalized in the first half. 5 brutal penalties in the second half. That's shooting ourselves in the foot. That's self-destruction. We must fix our internal roles if we want to move forward. Because too many teams have come and passed us by. We've showcased we can compete in the division. Yes, other teams had injuries, but so did we. As far as I'm concerned, it's the little things. That's what's costing us, not the big things, the little things. So to our quarterbacks, whether it's Mason Rudolph, whether it's Kenny Pickett, whether we try to make a move to get Russell Wilson, whether we draft somebody, whatever the case just so happened to be, we need a quarterback who will lead this offense with confidence. We need an offensive line that has got an attitude about running the football and furthermore protecting the quarterback. We got our running backs who could be dogs. Najee Harris got to work on just a little bit of vision. There were a ton of times in which he couldn't seem to find a hole, but he was able to figure it out late in the season. Jalen Warren's a fucking dog, just like Najee's a dog. With Deontay Johnson not in his fucking feelings and he decides to play football team-wise, and George Pickens the same thing, these two are dogs. Somehow incorporate Freiermuth into the offense. We got dudes, throw the football to Washington. Draft somebody who can mess around and be a run stopper, or maybe get somebody in free agency. Hayward's getting old. He can still play, but goddamn, he's getting old. Get him some help on the D-line. TJ's gonna be TJ. Highsmith gonna be Highsmith. Minka's gonna be Minka when he wants to be Minka. Get Patrick Peterson on the damn advisory role. Give him a job on the staff. Take him out the helmet and shoulder pads because he's fresh out the laundromat. That man's washed. Joey Porter Jr. cut down on the penalties. I guarantee you he can be not only a Pro Bowler but an All-Pro. Get another cornerback. Get us another safety who can be a guaranteed, not only lay somebody the fuck up out, but also a ball hawk who can take the football away. And then get us a kick returner or possibly have Calvin Austin go out there and actually return some kicks here and there. But one way or another, we got pieces. We just need a little bit more. But it starts here, and it's the mindset and it's the culture. So to the Roonies, I'm talking to you. Y'all gotta get it together. Because what we've put on the field the past 10 to 15 years has been atrocious. Ever since Palomalu retired, we've been a completely different football team. Defensively. Offensively, when Ben messed up his doggone elbow in the second week against Seattle in week 19, we haven't been the same fucking offensive football team. We got a problem as a fan base watching this product on the field, and you ought to start feeling like you got a problem in the front office. Fix this shit. Period. I'm proud of how this football team closed out the doggone season. We fought until the end, but again, it was the same problems that holds us back from getting and racking up as many W's as we possibly can. So now we got to clean out our locker and go into the damn offseason, head into the L train, and then ultimately get written down the death note. Because we just got deleted from playoff contention for hoisting up Lombardi number 7. We're no different than the Cowboys right now, and that's a problem. Every year come in with high expectations and fall short. That's not what the essence of the Pittsburgh Steelers is, and you know it. I know it. We all know it. Fix this bullshit. Steelers on 3, family on 6. 1, 2, 3 Steelers, 4, 5, 6 family. Fix this bullshit. I don't want to see this same fucking product on the field next season. Period. Unfortunately for me, the Pittsburgh Steelers got knocked out of the playoffs and knocked down into the shadow realm. But you too can get knocked down, but into a better sleep with Knockdown Tea. Magnificent passion fruit flavor, red rooibos blend that is going to aid you in battling insomnia, beating your anxiety, taking down your stress, and simply sleeping much better into the night. 1 cup, you're down for the count. 2 cups, throw in the towel. So make sure you click the link in my description and top pin comment and get your hand on the best tea on the market with Knockdown Tea.